Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, August 21st. It's a beautiful day in Miami. It is full of traffic, though, as everybody's gone back to school. So these videos might get a little bit longer if I have more time in the car like this. So we'll see. But anyways, things are progressing with my 9x12. Things are nearly full. I've had a few advertisers come in the last couple weeks. So my dentist that I go to, I closed the receptionist there, or the office manager there. She has a flooring company with her husband that they're gonna take a medium spot for. And my cold caller, it got me a spot for a rain gutter company. They were texting back and forth. He messaged them on WhatsApp, and then they responded back to our Zadharma outsourced line and said, okay, yes, I'm interested in it. And so I texted them back from my personal line because you couldn't text back from the local number in Zadharma. You could only do that with toll-free numbers. So I switched it over to my personal number, followed up with him there. He said, okay, here's the pricing, here's the sizes. He said I'm in for medium, so I'm working on the design for him right now. So things have been looking pretty good. So nearly full. We just have a few spaces left in my kind of giveaway kind of corner where I was gonna put in any restaurants. And kind of like my caller had said before, he said it would probably be tough to get to actual owners and decision makers in restaurants because most of the time they're not there. The staff is just there, handling things. And so we didn't really get a chance to get any of them kind of on board. But I do have call logs and everything that he sent through that I can review for how those conversations went. But looks like we don't have any spaces sold for those little spots. I have a few other leads that I'm working on following up with to see if I can get any maybe small spaces sold out of that little area. But otherwise, it's pretty much a full card. I had my security company. He does armed security guards and stuff like that. I have him coming on board again after the first card. He dropped off the second card, but he came back for this one. Pawn shop guy, I'm going back and forth with his ad redesign. My painter that I bartered with, I'm working on his redesign. So I'm going through all the ads and kind of giving them a fresh touch, thanks to some advice I got from a viewer about a month or two ago. So I'm working on getting all those updates kind of piped into the card to make it look better, more action-oriented, to hopefully get the advertisers a bit more response out of it. My pavers company, I sent a couple of options for redesign to him, and he said, oh, actually, let me get my designer that's done my last couple of flyers to work on it so that it's consistent with all the other things that I'm putting out there. So that'll be good. We should have a nice fresh look for the card this time around, and we'll be able to get it out. So I'm trying to get last designs in over the coming week so that I can start printing that first week of September and get it in the mail soon after that. So things are moving along well. It's been otherwise a pretty busy week in the marketing world with Alex Hormozi's big launch that he did over last weekend, and then the gratitude blueprint that I was a part of on Monday by Sam Morrison Wilson. And so I have a lot of actionable ideas in my head of what to do to build the business going forward. Alex's new book, the $100 million Money Models, is pretty fantastic. I ordered my VIP copy, months or so ago. It should be coming in soon. But in the meantime, he has a free audiobook online, a free video course online that you can go through it and get all the tactics that are inside of it for free. So it was definitely interesting seeing his launch because he broke some world records. He probably sold $100 million worth of these books over just a weekend span by making it a full package of 200 books for $6,000 and then upgrading from there to other things to get some AI stuff that he's built and all these other handbooks that he's built out. And since I signed up to be an affiliate for it, and since all of you helped me hit my goal of a minimum of 10 referrals getting registered for the event, I got some extra bonuses, including some an audiobook of 71-minute marketing tactics that I've sent. I put it all together. Everything is loaded into the school group We have a tab in there with a link to a Google Drive with all the bonuses that I've gotten. And I was a little bit sneaky this time. And I also signed up under a couple of other affiliates that were giving their own bonuses that offered to let me, use those bonuses as well for my referrals to just boost the list in general. So I have some extra stuff in there too. And one of the new things that I just saw come in was all those playbooks that were part of that, $6,000 package, PDFs of all of those as well. So there's so much just value dropped in that, completely free. And I know for certain that anything nobody pays for isn't valued as highly as stuff that you do pay for. But hopefully you can trick your mind into knowing that this stuff is like other people have paid $6,000 for this. So it's really good. It's really actionable kind of stuff that's built on, Alex Hormozi's years of experience in building all sorts of other companies. But the one thing that nobody is able to grant access to is the ACQ AI that he put together. That's basically based on all of his books that he's ever written, all of his consult notes, all these other actionable playbooks, all that other stuff he built into an AI, and that was part of the package too. Now that's probably, tied to somebody's email that actually makes the purchases, so that can't be, repackaged. But what can be is making your own kind of AI ChatGPT, bot that's trained on all this. And so Doug Boughton of the Community Creators Club, which is another group in school that I'm part of, he put together a bonus for his affiliates that includes an AI that he calls Like Hormozi that is basically the same thing. He trained it on all of the public available books. He's training it on all of the tactical playbooks and everything else that he's got. This new book that he just put out, he's putting all that into a ChatGPT frame so that you can ask it questions like you would ACQ AI and get probably pretty similar results because it's still based on his thinking. It doesn't have as much of the behind the scenes things of whatever else Hormozi put into there, but it's got a lot. And it definitely thinks like him and puts out some good tactical information. So that's all in the links in the school group. I don't think I have it pinned, but just kind of go through the post for the $100 million Alex Hormozi bonuses and click on that, and then you'll see the link in there to get to the Google Drive. It also contains the audiobook file, so you can just download it on your phone, play it at will, whatever. Just have it playing in the background. Don't spend too much time definitely don't read all the pages of the books and stuff. That would just take forever. Unless that's how you really need to learn information, that really works for you. For me, I'm more of an audiobook guy because I just don't have the time to sit down and read. But I'm happy to get the book because this time I can actually find those pages in the book and kind of put bookmarks and put sticky notes and put stuff to remind myself of those actionable things that I need to be consistent on. So all that is to say, there's a lot of great information that came out over the weekend that we can use in our businesses, and I'm looking forward to implementing some of those. One of the tactics that he mentioned is the giveaway, which is something I'm going to do on my next card. I'll have a space for do you have a business you want to see here? Not really targeting at them saying, hey, do you want to see your own business on here? That'll be in another place, but maybe taking up one of my half ads and being like, do you have a business you'd like to see here? Scan this code and enter them to win a free spot on the next card. And in that, some people might have the favorite restaurant they go to, a favorite neighborhood plumber or AC guy or roofer, somebody that they know that they're like, and this is really cool. I'd like to see them get a free spot on this thing. And they can enter them to win. So that's a recommendation engine. And then you have a much warmer conversation. You'd be like, hey, this person saw and scanned the card and recommended you to be featured on it. And you're entered to a giveaway. And either they win and they get a free spot, or they get a discount on a spot. So either way, you have something to offer them. It's very personalized and based on exactly what happened. So that's a really good tactic that I'm going to be using on my card. I'll probably take one of the spaces either on the front or the back, wherever I haven't finalized the design layout yet. But that's just one of the, 20 different tactics that he has in there. There's buy one, get one things. There's all sorts of other things that he frames in the money models. on how to increase revenue, get people to pay more consistently, all this other kind of stuff. So I'm working through all that. The gratitude blueprint workshop that I went to on Monday, also excellent. And I'm just at a bottleneck of getting it implemented. What I really need to do right now is just put a form together to have my advertisers just kind of like submit their basic information. Then I can tag in our working anniversary and those kind of details, so I can just kind of start kicking off those personalized just thank yous and gratitude touch points and seasonal touch points, because I think that's really the reason why some of my advertisers have stuck around, is just because they feel that personal connection. After my first card, I gave everybody that advertised on it physical like 4x6 ad postcards with their ads on it for no extra charge. It's like kind of a surprise to them. And I know they all liked it. The people that I gave that to were really grateful. I got some good reviews out of that. So that's definitely something else that I want to start doing more of, doing those kind of little bonusy kind of things, just as a thank you to them, as I can build the profit margin up more by selling out more spaces on each card. Then I have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to provide those kind of extra values to them. And like in Sam's course, she talks about how it doesn't really need to be something expensive. I probably spend about $30 on printing 100 of these business cards or postcards for each advertiser, and shipping out costs like an extra $10 or so. But that goodwill can get me many more multiple ads in the future. But it doesn't even have to be something that big. It could just be like, a couple little handwritten cards over the course of the year. It could be, seeing something interesting online on Amazon that you think would work for them, that their personal interest is in, and you just, click and drop ship it to them. And so it could cost like as little like $40, $50 for a whole year of just these little touch points that really make somebody feel appreciated. And in this day where so many people are focused on their own thing, it's nice to just kind of get something on the other side of, just a touch point saying, hey, thank you for, trusting me with your business and being a part of what I'm building. And so in other news, my BNI card finished getting printed, and it is going to be hitting the post offices today. And then it should be getting dropped into the mail stream over the next couple of days after that. And so that was really nice. My BNI group that I'm a part of was really happy to see how that all came together. This time, since the zip code is very far from where I work, I had Jake do the full fulfillment. Super great process. If anybody does want to deal with all the headaches and hassles of doing all the paperwork, even though Rapid Slips makes it super easy, it still takes time to bundle everything, load it into your car, and wait through the lines at the post office. So if anybody wants to do the full fulfillment side of things, go with Jake. It's like an extra 7 cents basically compared to like doing it yourself per card. So on 10,000 cards, it's $700 extra, but it can really free up your time. And it was great. Andrea, their shipping manager, sent me pictures of all the cards like all stacked up with them all printed out, laid out, all bundled and everything, so I can show proof to all of my people in my BNI group, hey, here's everything, here's where it was all packed up, here's all ready to go. So it's not just like a blind, okay, what happened? Where did everything go? What is it? And they're also sending me a couple extra copies because I basically maxed out the routes of like 2,510 routes out of our 2,500 piece mailer. They saved out 3 cards for me so I can have a physical copy and give them one to like our residential realtor that kind of drove the whole process, and our mortgage broker that was the other one really driving the process, so they can all kind of have their own physical copies and see how it turned out themselves. And they're already starting to plan out for the next one. So in the next like week or two, updating the copy, because basically on our card we just have like, here's what recently sold in your neighborhood, and then like all of our contact information on the back for all the different, insurance broker, mold inspector, CPAs, all the different people that are part of our group that wanted to be on the card are all on the back. So it was really cool to see it all come together. I'm looking forward to getting all the cards. They should be coming in tomorrow, just like the 3 extra cards to me. And so that'll be fun to see. So that was a nice little project, and very minimal profit margin on that kind of thing. since I'm just basically working with my own little group, and they did most of the hustle putting it together. The residential realtor had her own designer, put all the design together. I just made a few tweaks to add in what was needed for the mailing. So been just keeping busy with all those things. Have a lot left to work on, have a lot of things to streamline and progress forward with, but I'm excited to see where we go next. I've gotten a whole bunch of subscribers on YouTube recently, so we surpassed 400. I think we're at 415 now. The school group is now over 200 members in the school community, so thank you all so much for following along and being a part of this journey. I'm trying to give as much value as I can. Anything that I learn, I'm trying to hand it over to you guys so you can be a part of this journey too and do it for yourself and get out there and start making some money. As it's kind of like back to school time, as you see, I'm still in traffic. It seems that a lot of business owners are back to work because a lot of people, they take off for the summer. They're not really focusing on their business as much. They have a family. So now they're back in their business mindset, growing their business, getting their stuff set up for the holiday season. Everybody's got to already start thinking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that kind of stuff. So tap into that when you talk to your potential advertisers. Tell them, hey, this thing isn't going to fill up immediately. So this will be for something for, probably October that we're going to be getting out there. And so any of those kind of offers that you want to put out there for the holidays, anything that you want to see get in people's hands for that kind of time, this is the time to be discussing it and starting to plot out your last quarter's advertising now and see if that might get them out of thinking, I don't have anything to do right now. Get them thinking of the future state and what they can do with you and try to have that conversation and see where it can go. Take it from there. I think that's probably about it for me for today. I hope you get a lot of value out of, kind of my meandering thoughts on what's going on, what's working in my business, and what I'm working on. In terms of the tools and everything, just, go to EDDMtools.com and see what's available on there. I got my QR code tracker, link track. I'm working on getting it updated so that we can have the custom domains on it. I haven't been able to get that set up yet, but I've been working on the background on some of the other tech side of things to make that possible. And then we have Rapid Slip. So if you're doing any of your own mailings, just get on there. I had a couple people in Jake's community use it recently. Travis just got his 5,000 piece mailer out using it. So thank you, Travis, for the shout out in his group there. And Scott Meisner used it for his last 100,000 cars and gave me a shout out. So I know it's working out there. It's saving people money. Jake's using it every single day for his business. And so if you're doing any of your own mailings and you don't want to, do the old process of handwriting everything, just get on rapidslips.com, get in there, and your first 5,000 pieces are free. Then it's really cheap after that. So you got that one going on. And then if you need to pick out your routes and stuff, just go to routesnip.com. You can get the Chrome extension that you can just go in and snip out all the detailed routes straight out of USPS website. Routes have changed recently. My one for my BNI group, the same routes that previously had 2,500 addresses in it, bumped up to 2,700. And it was the same parameters. Everything else was the same because I had it saved from RouteSnip before. You can always use RouteSnip as kind of basis, and then once you're going to do your mailing, use it again because you don't know if those route numbers may have changed. Anything may have been corrected since then. So get on there, use any of those tools. My ad library one is going to be probably my next thing to do after I get this card finalized and out. And then I have another one for the video ads. That one's not seeming as, as viable as it just hasn't kind of worked out as much as I wanted it to. And now there's so many other AI creator things that you can do. You can probably just tell Canva, hey, I want an ad for this company. Here's their design, and it might be able to take something from there and do it. Otherwise, I'll keep doing them manually because it ends up being faster than trying to program all the pieces to do it automated, and it still isn't as customizable as just doing it myself in a video editing program. So that one's not looking as as viable as a build. But if there's people out there interested in that kind of service, then I might be able to work on some ads for a certain price or whatever. But other than that, it's a lot going on. I thank you all for the support. If you're just finding my channel now, hopefully you're seeing this is what I am, this is what I do. I make videos in my car talking about EDDM, 9x12, mailings, anything that's going on in my business, anything that's working. I share everything along the way, so that way you can benefit from that information too and build your own business. So with that said, I will thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be pretty much off for the weekend. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, and my parents are in town. And my dad's birthday is coming Tuesday. My birthday is the following Tuesday. So and then my nieces, I have 2 nieces that are turning 4 also on my birthday. They were born the same day that I was, just 37 years later. And so I got a lot of stuff going on with family over the next couple weeks. I'm working on finalizing this card, so I got a lot going on, but I wanted to at least get this video out there because I know I probably won't for another couple days. Get something up for all of you that have been following along. So thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.